Well, hello everybody, it's Dr. Drake 63 here today. Today I'm going to talk to you about weapons mounted lights. Specifically going to talk about 3 different weapons mounted lights that I own. A couple of them had for a while, a few years, and one's brand new. Brand new one's going to be the TRL3 by Streamlight. Also, I've got an older, kind of an inexpensive knockoff of Streamlight combination light laser, which is a Truglow. And last is the Inforce WML. Particular model I have is an infrared. Going to give you some specs, going to let you know what they look like and give you my thoughts about weapons mounted lights. If something goes bump in the night and I don't want to be firing in the dark, certainly you want to see what your target is at any time and know what's beyond it before you discharge your weapon. There's no question about it, or you could end up with a very unhappy accident, to say the least. But that being said, one of the things I've always kind of not liked about weapons-mounted lights, and you can demonstrate it right here, if I've got this light on and I walk into a room and there's a bad guy, so to speak, waiting for me, well, guess what? That bad guy, that perpetrator, knows exactly where I am and knows exactly basically where he needs to point his weapon and fire in the dark. The other thing is if that individual has night vision equipment, which I don't currently have, advantage goes to him. But, in most situations, that's not going to be the case. The other thing I'm going to point out to you is that I'm also going to be looking at lights that are not high powered. These are meant for indoors. They're not meant for coyote hunting or any kind of a long range outdoor 100 yards engagement, any of that stuff. These lights are made specifically for indoors, and that's why we're looking at 200 lumens and less. Also got to note that my budget for these lights is also under $200. I know you can spend a lot more on lights, but that's kind of the budget that I go with. And so I've got lights that I've done a lot of reading about, and a couple of them in particular have a lot of dependability surrounding them. The Truglow, not as much, but like I said, I'll be happy to give you my thoughts about my experiences with these lights. So enjoy. This is Dr. Drake 63 saying thanks for watching, and be sure to leave your comments and let me know what your thoughts are. Thanks. Weighing in at a whopping 15.2 ounces is the Truglow laser light combo. It's a 200 lumen light. It costs $85, and it does have a pressure switch that comes with it. In addition, we're looking at the Inforce WML. This particular one is 200 lumens and has an infrared setting. This has an hour and a half of light available. Also takes a CR3 standard battery, and you can get these for about $150. Last, we're looking at the Streamlight TLR3, 2.32 ounces. It's 125 lumens, also 1.5 hours of battery life, and it takes a CR2 lithium battery. A little bit harder to find than the others. This also is specifically made to go on a pistol. Looking at this Glock 19, you can see how far the TLR3 protrudes from the end of the barrel. Now contrast that to how far the protrusion is on the Truglow. Also showing you how the WML light fits on this short-barreled rifle. You can also put the Truglow on a rifle. Obvious weight differences already explained. You can get an idea of the tactical look of the WML on this rifle and the TRL3 on the Glock. Guys that are in the tactical look, like I am sometimes, it's what we call I can dig it. Looking also at the strobe function on this WML, I really like this. This is something that, imagine if you have to use this light and this rifle in accordance with person or people who are would-be intruders. Imagine the confusion something like this could cause. Now we're going to go ahead and look at how these come on and off. Here's the TLR3. As you can see, it's a spring-loaded clamp right there on the rail, and then you tighten that down You want to hand tighten that only, just finger tighten there, because if you go beyond that, you're going to have an issue with interfering with the harmonics of a polymer rail. It should be noted that there's different inserts based on the type of firearm you have, and it comes with 6 or 7 different types of inserts that are going to help you position it correctly on each particular type of firearm that you have. This one is particularly set up for the Glock's position on the rail. Next, we're going to see how the Truglow attaches. It has a locking mechanism, or imagine just like a latch that's going to close, and this is adjusted, the tightness is adjusted with the screw on the side, so you do a little bit of playing around to find the best one. You don't want this to be over tightened. You want to be able to just close this with your finger for the same reasons you don't want to over tighten the TLR3. And here you can see it fits on the front of this pistol, no problem. Then you just use your fingernail to take it right off. Looking now at the position of the controls relative to your trigger, a little bit closer to your finger for the Truglow, and the TLR3 is a little bit farther up. Unless you have short fingers, that won't be a problem. Now we're going to look at how the Inforce fits on and off the rail. You can see there's a little adjustment cleat on the side, a little indent, but you basically are able to open the jaws, I guess for lack of a better word. It's a spring-loaded clamp. Goes right on your 1913 rail, and then you tighten down that detent, and it fits snugly on the side of your rifle. In this case, I decided to put it on the side so I could easily use my thumb for on and off. Very simple, and does a good job, again, of lighting out to, say, 40 yards, 50 yards probably would be the maximum that you'd want to look at with this. And here you see, again, it's just a little detent that screws in and clamps this to the rail, a little bit tighter on some rails than others. You're also going to notice this is, for lack of a better word, a light safety. The first light we're going to look at is going to be the TLR3. Specifically, want to show you at about 15 feet what you get. Now, this big outer ring is one band of light. I've heard it called spill. And there's a light in the middle, which is illuminating this area of, it's basically a craft room, for lack of a better word. But you can kind of get the size of it. And if you are coming in with your weapon pointed up, this is what you see. This is called an umbrella, which kind of makes sense, right? You're shining up at the sky, but you can kind of see the intensity of this. Okay. The Inforce. And you can see this is 200 lumens. What I notice right off the bat is that outer light, that spill, is a lot bigger than what you had with the TLR3. Right in the middle, that focal point, you're seeing about the same size, maybe a little bit smaller bright spot in the middle. And when you do the umbrella type of situation, you have the same kind of basic thing. Okay. Also, this particular light will give you a strobe effect. Now, it's kind of mind-numbing and mesmerizing. Now, imagine being on the other side of this. It'll cause some confusion. It's not repeatable, and very interesting there at 200 lumens. Last light we're going to look at is going to be the Truglow. And if you look at this, not quite as big of an outer ring or spill that you saw with the Inforce. It's more about the size of what you saw with the TLR3 Streamlight. And similar size, kind of halo effect. Similar kind of thing. Now, this is a very small room that we're in. I'm pointing at a wall that's maybe 15, 16 feet away. But this is typical for inside a house, guys. Which is that. So lots of similarities. This is also a 200 lumen light. And I don't see a lot of difference between the three of them. In the world of things going on a pistol, weight and size, I think, are the king. Now, this isn't going to go on a pistol, but it's very lightweight compared to this. And as you can see, this Truglow here, just so much beefier in every way, right? Certainly when you compare that to, it's forget about it. Okay, that's just too much weight to be carrying around the end of a pistol, in my opinion. Like I said, it's meant for this. This back removes, and you can also put an adapter for a pressure switch for your rifle. I have no interest in that. I can see why that might be of interest for some folks. But like I said, this is a knockoff of more popular Streamlight, as well as Surefire products, the laser light combo, and so forth. So taking a look at this too, on the bottom, you can see this Allen screw here and this Allen screw there. Those are for windage and elevation on your laser. Okay, so I've had this for, I want to say, 3 years. Have not replaced the battery, haven't used it extensively, but I imagine it's got some durability to it. I haven't drop tested it and done all those things with it, and tend not to do that. Had this about the same length of time. I originally got this just because I thought it was so cool looking, and works really well. I'm real pleased with this. Also on the original battery. Like I said, I just got this, and in terms of a pistol light, the smaller the better. Hour and a half time is plenty. That's going to last me an awful long time, because I just am not going to walk around with that thing on, and hopefully don't ever have to use it to engage anybody. There is, from the makers of this particular light, the Inforce, there is also an even smaller version, a micro light that is flush with the end of a Glock 19, and it's quite a bit smaller in 200 lumens versus, again, 125. Now, it needs to be noted, lumens aren't everything. There's candle power, there's the way lenses are focused, and for the money, size, and weight, I will take this over a 200 lumen light, just in terms of what it does, in terms of what I need. Again, if you're someone who's in a professional situation, who may be actually holstering a weapon with a weapon light, that kind of thing, different story. I am not. So small and light wins in my book, especially when it's got the reputation that you get with a Streamlight. You know, I'm also a big proponent of getting something like this, which can be held in your hand alongside your pistol. I think it gives you a little bit more versatility, and you're not making yourself a quote-unquote target. However, when you have the ability to have both hands on that pistol and maintain and use the light, I think that's really the winner, and I think that's why people do it. So I appreciate you watching my little overview. There are very in-depth reviews of each of these lights available if you search YouTube. I definitely have the ability to get into the nerd factor, don't get me wrong, but when it comes to the lights, not as much. I'm just not a huge light guy. However, I understand the need for them. I also understand that if you need one, you need one, and that's at nighttime, when things go bump in the night. So I appreciate you watching. I hope that you will support the National Rifle Association, as well as any pro-Second Amendment organization that you can. We need to stick together. We need to keep our heads about us, because we're under attack right now like never before. Thanks for watching. This is Dr. Drake 63 saying good night.